Hello, hello. Throwback Thursday, February 22nd, 2018, 2:22. And thank you for being here. And the reason I am getting on here extremely late, even though sometimes I do these usually late in the afternoon, this is really late because I just got off the phone over 3 hours with a tech call. For those that haven't followed along, I'm having 3 new websites going up all at the same time. So I've been going back and forth with the technicians and the graphics and the layout and the this and the that and the copy and all the email campaigns. And there's so much stuff that is going on at once. And today it was some kind of issue with the email integration and the DNS records and the MX this and the where's the host and the mail and the servers and the it's just amazing hours because I've got, for some reason, some convoluted mishmash of stuff going on between where I've set up the domains and the email and the hosting and the subdomains, and I don't know what I'm doing. So that probably elongated the thing because Sherlock Holmes technician, a customer service person who they escalated things to, had to try and figure out what the heck I could possibly have going wrong with my sites, that emails that are sent from one don't arrive at the other, but if they're sent from here, they're arriving there, and we're checking this and testing that, and like, holy moly, all the time I'm thinking like, it's getting darker and darker. I want to get out there and film my daily video, and then that's going on, and now it's, holy moly, it's 7:23 here, Arizona time, so it's like 9:30 on the East Coast, and who knows what time all over the world, so definitely coming to you late, so we'll make it kind of quick today. First, I'll share the Rhino of the day is this very cool, Latanya's here, good seeing you, this very cool piece of scrimshaw, I believe it's called, some kind of an animal bone carving with a couple of rhinos on it. How cool is that? This was a gift from a great client who's become a great friend, which I highly recommend to everyone, that you serve your clients so well and you love them so much and they become friends. And so we have spent some personal time together. I think we were last over there for Thanksgiving even. So, but anyway, Ace Luciano, who is a renowned outdoorsman, hunter, fisherman, all that kind of stuff. And I don't know if this was from one of his safaris. He organizes and runs safaris to Africa. I think that's where he brought this back from. So very cool. Ivory bone, I think it is, scrimshaw of the rhinos. I know it's not a rhino horn, of course. It's not anywhere near big enough. I don't know what it is. I'm sure he told me, but it was years ago, and I don't remember. Speaking of years ago, let's get to Throwback Thursday. And so Brett Elias here. Coach Tony is here. Great seeing you. And so Brett Elias says to create raving fans. Yeah, raving fans. I'm a big proponent of mixing business and pleasure. I mean, that's saying like you can't mix business and pleasure. I guess if you're a 9-to-5 minimum wage slob, you shouldn't mix business with pleasure. Like you shouldn't, but if people own their own business, by definition, we ought to mix business and pleasure. We ought to love what we do, and I wish that on everybody. I absolutely love what I do. So, is it business? Is it pleasure? I love all that. When I'm traveling, like, is this on business or pleasure? I always laugh. I mean, I don't want to be detained in an airport and searched, some body cavity search in the back room. So I play along and I just say all business, or I'll say pleasure. But I'm thinking to myself, both. What kind of question is that? Almost everything I do in my life is both, and I love it that way. And it's always been that way since my first multi-million-dollar business that I built was I turned my hobby into a business. I mean, what could be better than doing what you love? Okay, Jorge is here. And Leon Stanton, Christoph, Jorge, I'm actually going to mention you if you're still on here because and maybe you saw that, I'm talking about the Chicago Recession Buster Conference, a conference that I hosted back in January 2011. I was just going through some stuff, looking for some things for another client, and look what I came across. This here's the program from the event. It was Chicagoland's #1 small business conference to kick off 2011 with a bang, and if you remember back then, that was in the midst of the Obama reign, which meant total recession for 8 years. Well, it was deep recession. Bush, caused the deep recession to begin with, and then Obama got us out of the near depression which was great. But then he didn't realize he just didn't know how to actually bring us out of recession into growth. And so there was minimal 1-2% growth or whatever, like always on the verge of dropping back into a double dip recession and all that kind of economic talk and stuff. But like, this was after 3 years of that, right? '08 was the Bush destruction of the economy, and then Obama bailed out big companies for some bizarre reason that should never be done, of course, and kept the economy running into recession for years. And after 3 years of it, I was like, it's time to get out of this, folks. 3 years, can you imagine? We went on for another 5 of the same crap. But so I guess my Chicago recession buster, well, it did work. It worked for those who attended and took action on what they learned there. But it did not work for most business people. But nothing works for most business owners because they don't take action. They don't do the right things. They don't get the right help. They don't get the right input. Too proud, too lazy, too stupid, combination of all three, whatever it is. They don't get the right help. They don't go to 25k25.com, for instance, which is a site I put up where you can just go there and request a 25-minute call with me where I will give you a strategy where they'll bring in $25,000 at no charge. So, but business owners likely even watch this video. Most of you won't go there. Like, oops. But anyway, I digress. So this was in January 11, and it was a very cool event. It was a 2-day event, Friday night and Saturday. Started at the end of Friday, and right away, very inventive inside cover ad by a sponsor who said, put that ad in upside down. That's Brian McLaughlin, Information Distributors. Put that ad in upside down because that'll get attention. So there is tip number 1. You want to get attention and stand out. I mean, what has to happen now? I got to go, what is that all about? And turn it over and look at it. Because if it was right side up, it's likely people just go, oh yeah, there's an ad. Let's get into the program. But what is that? What is that upside down thing that I can barely write? What the fuck? But I got to turn it. It's called engagement. Okay, that's the engagement factor, and you want people to spend time and energy engaging, reading your stuff, playing with samples you send them, watching videos, filling out forms, whatever it is. If they're engaging with your marketing, you're getting their time and their eyeballs and their attention. And then you can get advanced about it. But once people invest that time and attention subconsciously, at the very least, they're thinking, well, I put in all this time to it. Now I might as well call this number and get this free whatever he's offering and take advantage of something or other. Otherwise, I just wasted by whatever. So anyway, then it starts out, and I had a little message to everybody from the desk of me. And then I went on to have the agenda. So we had the agenda. I was thanking the sponsors. So look at those sponsors, and that's where Jorge, if you're still here, you're the number 1 first sponsor on the list right there, the official photographer. And Lee Werner's here. Lee, I know you were there at the Chicago Recession Buster. We're bringing back some memories, huh? And thanks, everyone, for the likes. There's Jorge Norick of JorgeTookYourPicture.com, the official photographer of the event and of all my events that I held in Chicagoland. And now he has, now there's someone that followed advice. The advice that I gave him, he followed it, somewhat, not totally, but he's happy enough. He really is now Chicagoland's #1 event photographer, and told me even years ago, and I see it still on his Facebook page and his website, he gets invited to every event he attends for free. And then the speakers there invite him and say, please, can you be a photographer for my event? And they'll fly him all over the country. So he's attending all these events, meeting all these people, getting paid to do it, learning all this good stuff, making great connections, and going on and building a nice business out of it. So then we have and there's Brian McLaughlin, our printer. Had that ad on the inside cover. And Phil Brakefield, who is still a client of mine to this day, right there. And who else is on here? Darcy Juarez, who's in my mastermind group of entrepreneurs, and now is I don't know what her technical title is, head of marketing for GKIC, for the Glazer Kennedy Insider Circle. And I do remember actually handing her resume to the then CEO of the company and saying, you need to hire this person. Once Bill Glazer left the company, I said, you need to hire Darcy to be your head of marketing. And lo and behold, she was, then she left, and now she's back, so on. Then we have some conference notes, some handouts, fill in the blanks, what people are learning. And then we have your board of business advisors for the Chicago Recession Buster. You will learn to bust through the recession. And look at some of the cool people. Brian Tracy, Jeremy Roenick, star hockey player for Chicago, for the Blackhawks and other teams, and now lives right here near me in Scottsdale, Arizona. Frank Kern. Frank Kern's a funny story. Frank Kern, scheduled to be there. Notice the dates, January 2011. Frank, at the time, you can see, had the long hair. He was doing the old "I'm a surfer dude" guy. Now he's doing the "I'm a distinguished, successful professional." But back then he was acting like he was a surfer dude, and he was having a videographer film him walking around barefoot in jeans and casual, and that was his whole shtick in those days. And I saw him at an event about a couple of months before this, and we had planned to get together and shoot a promotional video. And when I got to him, found him in the hall, and we're talking, and he's like, wait a minute, when is this event? He's like, it's in January? In Chicago? Do you think the barefoot surfer dude is going to go from San Diego to Chicago in January? He's like, I ain't doing that. And he backed out of the event. Whoa. So great guy and a brilliant marketer, but he backed out of the Chicago Recession Buster event. Of course, you can't blame him. Who the heck in their right mind would go from San Diego to Chicago in the winter? So we did agree, since he had committed and the marketing had already begun. I'm like, people want to see you, want to learn from you and hear you and meet you and all that. I said, here's the deal. He agreed to do a special private special webinar just for the people that attended the event. And so that's how that happened. And then I think that fell through or something. But people were so happy with all the other speakers and what they got from the event, they were okay with that. Perry Marshall, 4 times he spoke at my event, super brilliant marketer. Who else is on there? Raymond Aaron, you might know. Beth Davis, the fantastic Beth Davis. Julia Klein, who was my runner-up for Market of the Year from my mastermind group back then, very successful sales and marketing coach and speaker and so on. And then I have all the bios of all these great speakers and what they were talking about and who they were. And there's me. I was, of course, giving a presentation, and here's the outlines for my presentations, and we have the notes there. So if you're hosting an event, this is a kind of cool thing to do. Let people follow along with who they're learning from and the bullet points and the titles of all the talks and what they're going to be learning, so they can decide if they need to take a break or make sure they're not leaving, or, they know they're in the right place. Look at all these things. How to get an avalanche of new business with mobile marketing. This is my good friend Damian Zamora, teaching him SMS text message advertising back in 2011. I hear now this is a red hot thing. Oh, text message marketing and automated messaging with Facebook and red hot new thing. Well, attendees of the Chicago Recession Buster were learning about that 7 years ago. We're on the cutting edge, making a ton of money before anyone even found out that, it's a new hot thing. And 7 ways to maximize your profits in any market. How to create millions in residual income through powerful strategic partnerships. Brian Tracy. How to recession-proof your business with extreme residual income for life. Blah, 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 blah. Use self-hypnosis to destroy the mental blocks preventing your business from succeeding. That's a hypnotist, Clay Wooten. He hypnotized people, and then that was Friday night, and then everyone had a good laugh and a fun time, and then he came back Saturday morning and taught what he did. Not so you can learn how to hypnotize other people and make them buy your stuff, but you can hypnotize yourself, self-hypnosis, to get you to take action. Because after all, like you hear me say all the time, small business owners, the good news and the bad news is we're our own boss. That's the good news. It's also the bad news. So if we could hypnotize ourselves to get more done and take the right steps and get the right help and take the right actions, like how powerful is that? And then I had the VIPs at the event, 2 pages of VIPs and their contact information and what they do. And, here's get a free this and go to this website and get a free that. Oh, yeah, we had free chair massages. We had the free photographs being done, anyone that wanted them for their social media profiles or whatever, all kinds of cool stuff going on. Oh, and then we had the charity auction where we raised over $30,000 for junior achievement. That's the next wave of entrepreneurs. So if you're going to do cause marketing, it's a very smart thing to do. Another tip right there, pick a charity that is congruent with your target market, your chosen who, the people you want to do business with you. So my market, the people that I help are business owners, entrepreneurs, and so it's very in line with their own thinking and their own life to say, let's support the future entrepreneurs. And so we had the charity auction, and all these people donated stuff for the auction, and it raised over $30,000, which was really cool, and they were extremely happy to get that money, and I'm sure it helped a lot of kids to do a lot of good stuff. And in Chicago, that's important because there's certainly a lot of bad stuff kids can do in Chicago because they're killing themselves all the time up there, and that's still happening. That hasn't been solved because they still have the ultra sanctuary liberal democratic rule throughout all of Chicago. There isn't a single conservative running anything there. So, crime runs rampant and nobody does anything about it because that's the way it is in inner cities in America. They're liberal run, and that means anarchy and death and poverty and homelessness and disgusting stuff. But I digress. So then we have a little bio about me. And then we have, you can take some notes on here, but of course everybody showed up with notebooks and filled them up with 2 days full of all kinds of stuff. And then on the back, I had my own calendar of all my own workshops and webinars and seminars and special events and the next major 2-day conference and monthly workshops and teleseminars and the websites and all kinds of stuff. So people could take this home and keep it and remember all the good stuff and all the good resources I was going to provide them all throughout the year. And I did that for 6 years in Chicago and helped thousands of entrepreneurs. And now I'm here in the Scottsdale area, and I'm helping people here. And one of the reasons for all these websites going up, I'm about to embark on doing some speaking here and hosting my own events and taking on a bunch of new clients. I've been working with only a handful of very high-end top clients and on partnerships and big projects, but I've decided, I kind of miss really seeing the light bulbs go off and teaching some people that are frustrated, rightly so, because they're doing the wrong things to advertise and sell and market their business. And just like I helped a lot of business owners out in Chicago, I'm going to do that here in the Scottsdale area. So very exciting. So if you're around here, please, I'll let you know. Come and join me at one of my events. And if you're not, I've already got people that have told me they're flying in for when I do my full day or my 2-day events. They'll be flying in from all over the country. So that'll be a lot of fun. So Coach Jig is here too. Coach, you were at the Recession Buster event, I believe. And Jorge is here. And Jorge says this is bringing back such great memories. What an event. Jorge, yes, it was. And I still to this day have all those photos. They're, of course, all over Facebook. And I just have my new brochure made up. It's up on my website, and that has a whole bunch of photos from you in it. And man, yes, indeed, fantastic memories. But they are just memories, folks. That's what Throwback Thursday is all about. Those days are gone, and today is here. So no matter what you did back then, entrepreneurs know we can't rest on our laurels. We can't just expect good things to happen because good things happened in the past. We got to get to work. We got to keep putting the right strategies and tactics into place, and we got to keep moving, keep growing, keep building because things change. There's no more recession. Now the economy is on the verge of booming, and there's like 3% growth every quarter now, and it'll get to 4, it'll get to 5, and it'll go up and down a little bit. No more days of the 8 years, 9 years of the negative growth. That was the recession under Bush, and then the 1 or 2% growth under Obama. Those days are over, folks. So no longer time to bust out of the recession. Now it's time to take advantage of the boom. So the question is, are you going to take advantage of the boom? Are you going to put the right strategies and tactics into place? There are more now, thanks to technology, than there ever were in the past, and there'll be more in the future. So that means all your competition and anyone else offering any kind of similar service or product to you and in the same marketplace has the opportunity to use all kinds of strategies and tactics. So you're going to let them use them and you don't? Because right now, if they're not doing it and you're not doing it, I guess you're okay. But I certainly don't want to be one that says I'm okay, I don't have to do any of that stuff, and then a competitor comes in, starts doing all that stuff, and I go, whoa, what happened? But I have an excellent product or service. So what? The person with better marketing is going to make all the money, not the person with the better product or service. I can tell you right now, there are better There are better burgers than McDonald's, but no restaurant makes more money than McDonald's. There's better pizza than Domino's. In every town in America, there's a better pizza place, and yet in every town in America, the Pizza Hut or the Domino's makes more money. And I could go on and on. It's never about, well, I could talk about, I saw something about a singer. You know, they had the singing last week of the NBA game where the singer botched the national anthem. Like, I forget who it was, but like she's a great pop singer. She makes a lot of money. She's not as good a singer as like a top opera star, a technically, a classically better singer, more quality singing. Doesn't matter. The more quality singing doesn't mean that opera star makes more money than Beyonce or whoever. I forget whoever it was that was singing the national anthem. Help me out if you remember the thing. I just know I watched on TV and they were like, oh, she botched it by trying to do all this flowery whatever. But I digress. Okay, marketing is the key to money, folks. Get on the marketing. Take advantage of this boom. Everyone's going to make money over this economy, especially with someone in office who about the only thing he's good at is getting the economy going. So take advantage of this because everyone's going to make money. Those of us that do the right things, take the right strategies, are going to make gobs and gobs and gobs of money. And then who knows what's going to happen next over the next administration or world events happen or whatever. Things go through ups and downs. Now's the time to make money. And if it was during the daytime, I would say while the sun is shining, even though now it's nighttime. Still time to make money. Okay. And CJ is here. Great seeing you. CJ, I think maybe you were at the Chicagoland's Chicago Recession Buster event 2011. Maybe, maybe not. Anyway, thanks to everyone being here live. Hope you enjoyed the Throwback Thursday, the memories. It's only 7 years ago, but yeah, those are some good times. Great people, great events. Had a lot of fun. We're going to do it all again here in Scottsdale, Arizona, starting soon. Stay tuned. And let me know. Hit me up at steve@stevesipress.com to make sure I notify you of what's going on, or hit me up on Twitter or Facebook or whatever it is, and I'll make sure you get on the list whenever I'm hosting a free event or have any other free resources. Of course, I'll let you know. But then it's up to you to put to use what you discover, what you learn, what you get through all the resources that I'm always giving to business owners. So hopefully you do that, and then when you do, please let me know. I'd love to hear success stories. That's it for Throwback Thursday, folks. And Felicia Slattery is here, and Felicia, is putting a link to the worst national anthem or the 10 worst. Just said the 10 worst. Isn't it unfortunate that there are 10 bad renditions of the national anthem? But thank you for that. And Felicia, of course, you were there too. Was that not fun times and great things happening? And Felicia is one of those few people that, has really taken off. And it's so great to see all the stuff you're doing, Felicia. You're a nonstop machine. You always have been a machine of implementation. Folks, if you want to learn by an example of somebody who implements, takes fast action, and gets a lot of stuff done in not a lot of time and enjoys her life with her family as well, then pay attention to Felicia Slattery. Can't say anything more than that. Okay, that's it for Throwback Thursday. Thanks, everyone, being here today. And Felicia says your events are always top-notch. There's only one reason that all my events are always top-notch. That's because of the people that attend the events. That's what makes the event. Felicia, it's because of you and Jorge and Coach Jig and everybody else that's at these events. That's what makes the events great. We put the speakers on, and we give away the free massages and the food and the this and the that to get the great people to show up. The reason I get Brian Tracy at the event is because then sharp people will show up, because the sharp people is what makes the event. It's what makes life. I love entrepreneurs. Sure, Brian Tracy, yeah, sure. He's an entrepreneur too. Okay, I love that too. But I love the attendees of the events. Like I said, there's nothing better to me than seeing the light bulbs go off, seeing people go from I want to do something to like boom, like Felicia, like things are happening, like life is great. There's nothing better than that, folks. And for that, I teach one-on-one and I help people one-on-one, but I'm going to get back to helping people in a group setting because I love it. I can help a lot more people, have a lot more fun, and create a lot more memories. And so 7 years from now on a Throwback Thursday, maybe we'll be talking about an event that I'm going to hold in Scottsdale, Arizona in 2011. How much fun will that be? Okay, thanks for everyone being here today. Had a lot of fun, and I will be back tomorrow. It's Foundation Friday, which means a basic business building tip, a foundational tip to help you take advantage of this rising economy that is going to lift all ships, but especially those of us that take the right steps and do the right things, going to lift us tremendously. Things are going to be happening. I'll help you do that on tomorrow, Foundation Friday. Thanks, everyone, being here today. Have a great night. Over and out. Bye-bye.